Some years ago, I had tried to play Armoured Core 2, and I could not, for the life of me, fathom how anybody could like that game. Its mechanics made next to no sense. They couldn't really be described at that point. They were just so random. They were so weird. Just made no sense whatsoever. The game was so clunky. The control scheme especially, Jesus. And I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out how to play and enjoy Armoured Core 2. Until at a certain point where I had went through a journey of some kind with BloodBorne. I played through BloodBorne from more or less when it released. Went through the entire Central Yarnum and had the normal, fights with Papa G and everybody else, up to the point where I found the blood-starved beast. I'm sure everyone had this, where they fought the blood-starved beast and tried their fucking hardest to beat it. Finally beat the damn bastard. I just got a chalice and went, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this for? The hell does this do? Whenever you finally get to that point where you fucking go, the fuck is this thing for? You find out it's for the chalice dungeons. And my god, if you've never played the chalice dungeons, that's one hell of a thing to do. That is one hell of a journey. The chalice dungeons in themselves are half randomized and half non-randomized dungeons. The normal route is you play the non-randomized dungeons and then you can get to the end and that's it. But you can also play the randomized dungeons for, fun and blood echo farming and material farming, stuff like that. But I had played through the normal route of them, played through the non-randomized stuff, and found it so extremely fun. And I couldn't understand really why. Like, why is this so much more fun? Then I got this real, genuine urge to play dungeon crawlers. Purely because of that. Never wanted to play dungeon crawlers before in my fucking life. But yeah, I wanted to play a dungeon crawler. I wanted to dive into the idea of a dungeon crawler. So, I did. I went in and I played Legend of Grimrock. Played Legend of Grimrock the whole way through. And I played Legend of Grimrock 2 the whole fucking way through. Just went in all these little mechanics that you had to learn and everything. But the thing that mostly caught my attention were the puzzles. Little puzzles like, what was it? Put a weapon, or no weapons allowed, and you had to put a weapon on a little shelf to open a door. And, there was one in Legend of Grimrock 2 where you have to give a sword to a statue to open a door. Things like that. They were fucking vastly interesting. So, I went from playing dungeon crawlers to wanting to play puzzle games. And I went on a fucking little binge with puzzle games. I played through The Witness, which is a full-on, it's a journey. You have to suck yourself into that game. It is fucking immaculate. Just play through the whole thing. You just have to touch every little area and go, what in the name of God is this? What the fuck does this do? For ages. But yes, I had fallen into a hole of puzzle games. Played through Antichamber, which was quite fun as well. Not really the best puzzle game, but it was interesting. Hook and Klocki and Zenge or some short ones I would find here and there. Which, my god. My fucking god. Short, but interesting. Then, after all that, I went back, and I did actually play Armoured Core 2. For once in my life, I'd played the damn thing properly. And it went from being a clunky mess to a fucking godlike, a fucking amazing journey of holy shit. I've never played anything so fucking fun in my life. Purely because I understood how to, not how Armoured Core worked, but how to get into a genre that I had never touched before. The mech genre, the mech sort of games, I could never understand them. But until I had understood how to jump into a genre, I fucking understand how fun those things are now. And since then, I've went to play other genres in that same way, where I just jump into them just for the fun of it, and it's made all of them so much more fun. I played shoot 'em ups. Shoot 'em ups are fucking interesting as hell, but you have to like just keep playing them, even if it's the same level over and over. You have to keep playing through and go and get better. It never really ends. You just keep trying until you can get somewhere where you can feel, you know, happy with your progress. You might be able to finish it, but you're not able to really do the one credit perfect run that you've always wanted. You just kind of have to do until you're happy. I've played some fighting games. Again, you'll never really be happy with them. Especially if you go into like online stuff, which I've never really touched that much. But they're so hard. They're just so hard. You get into the point where you can understand how to do a combo and a little bit of special moves here and there, but you never really get to the point where you're great. So I kept going into different genres, jumping into different things. Where I played some racing games at a certain point as well. I've played racing games my whole life, but I never really, I just played like one or two. I played Wipeout or Burnout. But there's so many interesting ones, so many really weird interesting ones. Like Distance. Distance is a really interesting one. But yes, I think that if you can really forgo the idea of playing just your comfortable genres, you can make a real interesting discovery of which games you do like and which games you're not so interested in. I find myself just amazed by what games that I wouldn't think are that interesting. Maybe some popular games here and there and some not so popular games. I just find that they're like, oh yeah, whatever. But as soon as you do jump into them as a genre, just a full blast into the whole idea of it, it becomes a lot more interesting. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
Thank fuck, 'cause I was drawn fire there and I had to run away.